Good morning. Good morning. You see me reaching for you because I want you to be exactly where you want to be. Good morning. I am Michelle of YesMichelle Crochets. Welcome in. It is, of course, Stitch Circle Saturday. I am so glad you are here today. Let me turn the music down a little bit so you can hear me just a little bit better. Because, yes, of course, I was enjoying my music before we got started. And I am going to say hello to everyone in the chat. Just give me a second. I have everything around me. Boppy pillow on the hip, blanket in front of me, so we have a project to work on. Good morning and welcome back. I am so glad to see you, Kim. I sent you an email. Whenever you get the opportunity, lady, I know you're busy. Just check it out. Let me know your thoughts. I really want to work on something special with you. Good morning, Lady Elaine. I'm glad work was able to release you to me because I missed you last time. So, yay. Hey, Cherry, welcome in. Glad to see you here. Hello, Angela. I'm so glad you're here today. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The sinuses are sinusing. I spent a couple of days outside. Don't ask. It was a whole thing. Anyway, good morning, Renee. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. And good morning, Vic. Good new team. Cool. Love that for you. And I got to the top, so I'm back to the bottom. Thank you. This is the top I made in April. So, yay me. And the top that we did for May, I wore last week. So, yay me. Got my coffee. Yes, it's almost gone, but I have a backup. There's extra coffee over there. We also have our water. I am a little all over the place. When am I not? But I have. Okay, here's why I need you guys. Yes, you. I need you. I have a project that I'm doing to support an organization that I genuinely care about. So I need to get that finished today so that I can get those things out of my house first thing Monday morning. That's one. The other thing I need to work on is a blanket. Yes, a blanket. I know, weird. But here's the cute. It's a mile a minute blanket. So it works up super fast. It's a pivot of a project I wanted to make. So the problem, and this is where I need you. Not only do I need some focus time, I'm thinking about doing an extra live today. Tonight, more specifically. What are your thoughts on that? Do you guys think that's something you would be interested in seeing? Or should I just stitch in silence? Because I do both very well. I just want to know what you guys would be up for. I know that sometimes having company, I know for me, the reason I got that top done on Memorial Day is because I spent the time with you guys doing what needed to be done. And yes, I need to open up my app because, of course, the rubbing on the iPad thing is annoying. It moves you too much, you wiggle too much. Let me open up my actual app so I can read your chat. But this is what I'm thinking about. I know it's such a weird pivot for me to suddenly be encouraging me to show up on live more. Let me turn this down because I don't need to hear me twice. But I'd love the company if you're interested in hanging out. And okay. Ooh, I have to like my live. I hope you've liked my live. More than oh. Cherry, you are so awesome. Lots on the hook. We all have lots on the hook. This is why I'm thinking a bonus live might be great for all of us. I know for me, I have two major projects that I need to get done. One by Monday, one by technically I need to have it done by Thursday so that I can steam it, make sure that it's appropriately wrapped and ready to go. Oh, thank you guys. You all are the best. But you knew that. So I hope you guys have had a super amazing week. You heard me mention a few moments ago, I've been outside. I have. The other day was such a beautiful day. And the daytime job, my sweetie, he loves being outside. So we went outside for what I thought was going to be a few minutes. To say that I was outside most of the day because of him, yeah. Yeah. And yes, I'm adjusting my top. Let me explain a little bit about this top and why I love it and why I'm probably going to make it again. I'm just being honest. This top is so loose. I can throw this on top of another top and it makes the perfect accent to the outfit, but moreover, it's loose and it's easy breezy and so much fun. This was such a fun top to make, but today we are working on this. So hooking away on that. Hey, Persephone, welcome in. Glad to have you here. 7 and coffee in hand. Yes. Clink, clink. Got the coffee. Backup coffee sitting on deck. Hey, Panda Pooh. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Tell the hubby wubby I said hello. And I'm looking at my stitches because really, yes. Why? Yes. So, like I said, it has been a fun week. And then what's so crazy? We all know I'm not supposed to be outside. Like, I need doctor's permission to be outside. But I was out there nonetheless because the baby said so. I'm blaming the baby. But we had such a good time because the weather was just so nice. The sun was gorgeous without me being in it. And I did not burn. So that was awesome. But the next day I kind of felt it in the sense that I was itching. And that's what, one of the difficulties of me being allergic to the sun. Going outside means I'm going to itch. Okay, what did we do here? This is one of the disadvantages to not pre-caking one's yarn before you start working with it. I'm pulling straight from skein, and this means that it will make a knot for me because why not? Why not? So I don't know where this is coming from, and we have to find it and cut it because we're not playing with it. I don't have time. Let's see. Hi. Hey, Nana Michelle. Good morning. Everyone made it, been up since 7, didn't sleep well. Oh no, sorry you didn't sleep well, but I'm glad you're here and I hope I can keep you awake if that's what you want. And if not, then I hope I keep you company as you rest. Whatever your preference, I'm here for it. Okay, we got that out of the way. Do I have a pattern for this top? Persephone, this is not my design. This was actually a Selena Baca top, and it's the Kobu top. If you'll do me a favor, come back to this live when it's no longer live, and I will drop the link for the book for this pattern. It is, I don't want to tell you the wrong answer. I think it's the weekend something. I don't want to tell you the wrong answer. So come back and I will drop a link for it. It's before I have to say this because we get in trouble when we don't. It's an Amazon associate link. So if you click that link and you make a purchase, it does indeed support the channel. And for that reason alone, I am so grateful if you would click it because I promise you, I've done 2 tops out of that so far. I have 1 more top to go and I have another project that I'm not talking about on channel that I'm going to be making because one of the people who watches me in silence is the recipient of the other item I'm making. So there's that. Now back to the chat for a moment. Let's see. It's a cool tip for sure. Thank you. if I can give a tip, there you go. But it's not like I'm giving, rocket science here. I'm not. It's simplicity. If you make a cake before you go to work with it, you're less likely to fight with the yarn, especially if you're doing a tutorial, a live stream, or whatever. This isn't news, it's just knowledge. Yes, once the sun is up, I'm up no matter what. Coffee will be my friend today for sure. You know what? I am in, thank goodness coffee does not hold me accountable for cheating, because I do cheat on it with Amazon, according to my son at least. But coffee and I are in a long term relationship, but I cheat on coffee with water. So there's that. And as I was saying, I was outside one day, then outside the next day, but not as long. I was only outside for about 90 minutes. And I have to leave the house today for a little bit of time. But that's just to go pick up a couple of things, drop off a few things. And I need to finish putting together Wednesday's Cozy Encyclopedia episode. I need to finish making a Whip Wonderland video for this coming Monday. So I'm giving you a little heads up of what you can expect to see for me this week and how I'll be showing up. The Whip Wonderland is two purpose. One, we do have these whips we need to work on. So having that musical accompaniment team, yes. And two, it also allows me half of the yarn that I need for my next Yarn 101 episode is here. The other half I was told was going to be here on Tuesday. Then I got told that the package was destroyed. So they're resending it. Yeah, but at least it's not costing me a dime. And I got a credit on my account because of the inconvenience. Normally work right out of the scheme, LOL. Rarely roll or cake them up. You know what? You do what works for you, Panda. I know for me, this saves my head every single time, whether it's my acrylic yarn, my cotton yarn, whatever it is. And yes, it's all close by because your girl is working on lots of. But this is how we roll. Do what works for you. No ifs, ands, or buts. Full stop. Oh, don't worry. I drink equal amounts of water. I always have something in hand to drink. I love that. You see, me and my straws. Good morning, make it do. Good morning, gorgeous. How are you? Back to my insanity. Like, if you guys have not figured out by now, I stay busy. I can't, like somebody else say, get busy doing such and such. Get busy. You mean slow down so I can just be busy? That would be my life. But yeah, I have had such a fun week. Did have to stop and get up at well, it wasn't a get up, it was get moving at 4 a.m. because we had to run out and go get a blood test done for a particular, well, it was not so much a blood test, it's a test, but it involves blood. If anyway, I needed to make sure that I'm healthy. One of the things about working with children is periodically you need to make sure that you're not in any way going to expose your clients to anything. So an occasional TB test here, in a different medication for something else there. You do these things to protect you, but also to protect your clients. At least I do. This is me. Yes, Amazon is the win for the coffee and stuff. I love it. I love it. Good morning, Kitty. How are you today? I'm sorry, I'm looking down because I keep telling you guys the chat on my iPad is so slow that I can't keep up that way. I try to make sure that I'm looking at your chat and keeping up with you guys along the way. Um, And of course, as if you didn't know, your girl, fresh trivia, hot off the presses. And as it is June, June 6th, no less. How? But here we are, 6 days into the month, and wow, we went through the trivia that I had for us for May, and literally, I don't think there were 15 questions left when it was all said and done. So I was very pleased and went back to my sources and my resources and found us some fresh trivia with the understanding of, okay, here are the questions I've already asked. Please do not give me a repeat. And yeah, I found some interesting questions. So let's start off. Where's my pen? Because you know we have to check off the questions. Anyway, let's start off light and easy, please. Weekend aesthetic and cozy habits. She said, I'm hearing not in the bushes today. Well, all right, lady. Good thing. Um, do you prefer the sound of rain on a tin roof or a perfectly sunny morning breeze? Which one is your preference? I can already tell you what mine is. Neither. Sun, I burn. Rain, I like rain, but a tin roof would get on my nerves. I like water sounds though. That's just me. What is your preference? Do you like that sun breeze and picnicky vibe of the morning, or do you like that stormy, moody, dark aesthetic? Panda says rain. Give him the rain. Yes. All right. And of course, you guys know I'm stitching away as we work. So I got to get my stitches in. If stitches burned calories, oh my goodness, I would be skinny. Rain on a tin roof. I love it. I love it. You guys are my dark aesthetic people. It is so, so good. Rain on a tin roof. I'm a country girl through and through. I respect that. That's another thing. As a person who grew up in the city and lives in a relatively city-like scape now, a tin roof, you're not going to find that where I live. Good morning. Kim was saying good morning. Um, and I like the feeling of my air conditioner from the inside of my house, right, Cherry? Twinning. Lightning and thunder is so invigorating and powerful. I like genuine thunder sounds. Sounds crazy, I do. But I do not like those AI generated ones. You guys know I have Epidemic Sound as one of my music sources. And I love it because there are sound effects that I can pull and things like that. If I turn on that thunder sound effect, and I can make a long playlist, and I have just for me, I don't share because I'm me. But my gracious, I will have the worst nightmares from the fake thunder sounds. Cannot do it. I love the sound of thunderstorms, natural ones, of course. Right, Nana? That part. I share my tree. I love you. I love you, Lady Elaine. Yes, thunderstorms are perfect, natural ones. And here's the thing, for me, a good rainstorm will have the most beautiful smell after. Like at one point, I think there was even an air freshener called After the Rain. So good. Now, why that triggered a smell thought, I have no idea. But it did, and I'm glad it did because that makes me smile. So check it off, Michelle, because you will forget. Ching! Oh, now this is a fun question for me because I'm living, I guess this will be my third iteration of childhood because I will forever be childish in some way or another, either in behavior or mindset. It just is what it is. Nonetheless, what is your favorite childhood board game or card game? I really, 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 really want to know that. What was your favorite childhood board game? Was it Parcheesi, or maybe it was Shoots and Ladders? I don't know. I'm pulling from memory of things because I was a weirdo. I liked checkers with my dad, but mostly when we could play giveaway. It was a whole thing. And I liked backgammon. I loved backgammon. Problem was I could almost never find anyone who would play. Um, what else did I like? I never liked cards. I did like Pokino though. That's a weird thing to say. Yes, a thunderstorm is perfect. Rainstorm smells equals fresh. Old maid. Hi ho Cheerio. Do you know I've never played that? I bet it's fun though. Spades, Tunk, and Bones. Well, we know why. Rummy. Okay. Tiddlywinks. Never played Tiddlywinks. Gin Rummy. I love it. And Mousetrap. Played it once. Ended up in fisticuffs with the next door neighbor, and the game was thrown away. Don't ask. And it was a boy. It was not a girl. I did not come into fisticuffs with girls. It was a rule. Good morning, Erica. Big hugs and welcome in. Thank you for being with us today. And if I haven't said it in the last 5 seconds, guys, do me a favor if you would, please. If you have not already done so, please do exit the chat for just a second, and hit that like button so that everyone can give a little support to the live stream, and YouTube knows that we are not only here, we are enjoying our time together. Because not only does it matter to me personally, it does. I like having you here, but YouTube needs to know that this is a space that you want, and it is what it is. Yay, yay. So I'm trying to think. I played Life, didn't enjoy it, and Othello. Loved Othello. In fact, I'm willing to bet you dime to a dollar I probably have an Othello set in my living room. Now, games I played as a later child that nobody was willing to play with me was Scrabble. And then when I got a little bit older and they brought out Upwards, I loved those. But hey, Nisi, welcome in. But the problem was I could never find anybody that would play with me because I was told, you're cheating. I'm not cheating. Your language is just limited. So, thank you. Hugs. I'm glad you're up. Making our... Oh, yay! Yay! Hugs to the team. And Kim said, marathon Monopoly games. Yes! Oh, my goodness. That just brought such exciting memories for me. I loved that. Did not play Uno very well. And never played Skip-Bo. So, but again, I think those are card games. And I was not a card game girl. Go Fish if I had to. That usually was with my dad's mom and my brother. And that was me indulging the fact that she would let me have the television in the evening if I played. And everybody is saying hello. The board game of Monopoly, yes, forever, ever, ever will love that game. And my family is not a board game family, so I'm going to have to add those things back to my list as I find people who I want to be in person with for that long. And Scrabble is the best. Yes. I don't think I've ever played that you've ever finished a Monopoly game. Oh my goodness. Oh, woo. I remember we would deliberately start at 6 or 7 p.m. and expect not to go any later than 11 to 12, right? Wrong. It'd be 2:00 in the morning. We're negotiating, wheeling and dealing. And honestly, to credit my parents, I think one of the reasons I was willing to start businesses and sustain them is because of the game Monopoly. I never thought about that, but yeah, honestly, I think the reason that I am a serial entrepreneur is because of the game Monopoly. I knew how to wheel and deal, hold on to what I needed, sell what I didn't, and recognize what my limitations were, and that I always got to pay rent. Uno and Skippo were later faves when my kids were growing up. Okay, see? Family game night was huge as my kids were growing up. My kids are 10 years apart, so it wasn't quite the same. And one of my kids having a challenge makes that even more difficult. The game became, can we keep the elopement risk in the house today? Most times we lost. But, da da. So, check it out. And let's see. Ooh, for especially because this is June and we're all in our traveling phase. Window seat or aisle seat when you travel? Which do you prefer? And if you ask me, the answer is driver's seat. Because yes, your girl is a control freak. We knew this. It's not news. Anyway, um, Nisi said, Monopoly is definitely an economic class game. Yes, yes. Thank you, Lady Elaine. Lady Elaine is giving us our check marks because we got to remember to check it off the list. So, window seat or aisle seat. And like I said, in my case, it's going to be driver's seat. I have only been on one traveling excursion where a commercial flight was mandatory. Other than that, most of my traveling included driving. And in one situation, I could not be the driver because it was not my journey to take. And I was not happy because the other person who was driving, let's go back to I'm a control freak. I want to be in control. I'm the only person with an assigned seat. Everybody else can sit wherever, but not too close to me. And yes, I'm in control of the radio. The passenger prince or princess does not get to pick the music because I have to live through it. So that's me. Now let's see. Our family revised to spin the bottle. You can spin to go in. Okay. Oh my God. Do you give lessons in that? Lessons in what though? Aisle seat. I don't like feeling blocked in. I get it. Window seat by commercial travel. Driver's seat of yes. See, people are like me in that regard. We are the people who must be in control of the situation. And I say that, but at the same time, my dream travel would be to be a passenger princess and to be able to crochet my way to whatever destination I'm going to, and then be able to lock myself in my room and crochet. I have said, I've been on one cruise, and I have said, if I go on another, whoever I travel with will hate me because I'm probably not coming out of the cabin. I will enjoy the rhythm of that water and crochet and sleep a little, but mostly crochet. Maybe listen to an audio book or two. So, can you imagine taking me on a 7-day cruise and not seeing me for 7 days? What would be the difference to leaving me at home? And again, at home, we know my bed. I like my bed. She likes me. We're in a long-term relationship. But then there's also my desk and there's my iPad and my internet, which knock on Trey because I don't have wood close by. We've not had an internet interruption, and I'm not talking it up. I'm just saying I'm grateful for that. I have not changed anything, and I hope nothing changes in that regard. Forgive me, I needed a sip. Sip, sip. It is almost 30 minutes to the hour. You guys need to take your sips, get your drink in. So let's see. Nisi said, has as far as driving depends on the driver. LOL. If I feel safe, like to just ride and crochet. If I feel like my life could be at risk, I have to drive. I have to drive because it's control. It's just honestly me. I drove a I knew you meant cab for 10 years and became known as the crocheting cabbie. I love it. The trick is front seat passenger must have the same musical taste as driver. That shotgun seat is determined. Yes. Now, because I am a serial planner and I plan the strangest things, I would probably create a playlist that would be as long as whatever that journey is going to be, especially now that I have access and resources for music. One of the things, and you guys will get to know this over this summer about me, is if I find a way to make music that is exactly on track for what we want, we're doing it. There's this app that I have access to called Suno, and yes, I pay for it. But I can make songs in whatever musical genre that I want it to be in. You add certain statements, and it will make lyrics to go with whatever that is. So if we're talking about crochet, then it might talk about stitches that we commonly use or different yarns or whatever, whatever. But perfect example. My eldest works with someone who does not like my favorite color. And we were laughing about this. And on certain days, she wears my favorite color. And she says, I need a theme song, but instead of saying I'm blue, it needs to say I'm pink. Say less, I wrote a song. Well, I didn't write it. I had Suno write it. Come on, let's be realistic. Your girl's busy. But this song is so hilarious that my daughter has it on repeat on a regular. And literally, out of nowhere, you'll just hear this song playing. It's so funny. I will, I guess I'll make a video and include it somewhere in there. But please understand, if it won't be in the Whip Wonderland video because it's not in the right musical theme. Persephone said, deep water and all those waves scare the heebie jeebies out of me. You know what? I thought I would be afraid. I wasn't. I loved it. But I got out of my head because here's where my fear lies. I don't like heights. So I was afraid of the idea of flying. Now, mind you, one, I was a roller coaster monster in my tweens and my teens and my young adulthood. By the age of 28, 29, that tapered off fast. And I did not like it. The other side of the weirdness of me, I used to work at the Arch. Yes, the St. Louis Gateway Arch. Yours truly worked at the top, 630 feet in the air with the sway. And mind you, it sways, especially on a windy day, but it's designed to do so that it does not topple in a major storm. We have weather here. This is the Midwest. So that never fazed me. In fact, because no one can do anything to me about it now, I used to literally work at the top of the arch and do so many shifts back to back to back that I would get tired. I would plant my feet up against the side wall of the very first two windows and affix myself to that window space and go to sleep because I had been at work so many hours that I was just exhausted. But yes, I slept at the top of the arch. It never fazed me. Now, you can't pay me to get in one of those little things to travel to the top, let alone get out. It's not happening. That the last time I went to the top of the arch, I literally felt sick to my stomach and didn't want to do it again. Fast forward. This propelled me to think I was afraid of flying. I flew. I loved it. I will do it again in a heartbeat. So there is that. And Nana Michelle said, oh, heck no. The height of that building. Okay. But I'm telling you, it was such a great feeling as a young adult that was my very first job. Like, loved it, and wanted to expose my eldest to the arch because, of course, telling your child that you worked at such a unique and special place and then not taking them and showing them wasn't fair to me. However, she was okay with it, didn't love it. I was internally terrified and was ready to go the moment we got to the top. But what I did get to do, I'm laughing in my head as I think about it, was I still had a few friends who worked there. They were then, I don't know if they're even there now, but at that time they had become managers and leaders and things like that. So I said, well, I want to go take my daughter to the top, but I'd love to be able to do the speech at the top. They're like, you still remember that? Well, yeah, it's only been a couple of years. So we get to the top. I exit, shoot up the stairs, grab the mic, and do the speech that is given when you arrive at the top of the arch. Now, I don't know if it's the same speech because I'm not going to go check, but it was so much fun. And my daughter thought it was hilarious to get to hear her mom do the speech and know it correctly because a few moments later, we walked to the other side. Remember me saying I was scared and ready to go? And she was unimpressed? That part. So we went to the other side and she heard that person doing that speech. So she realizes, okay, mom didn't make that up. It legit is what you say when you get to the top of the arch. There's that. Persephone said, covering my eyes. It's been 20 years since I've been to the top of the arch. Might have to go do that again soon. Well, if you're local, coffee's on me. And I can't say that for everybody because believe you me, if all of you all showed up, I would have a panic attack, be in somebody's psych ward for the next 6 months. So, but there's that. I will have a virtual cup of coffee with you. And if you're interested in having a virtual cup of coffee with me, then look in the details of my channel. You will find my Ko-fi account. There's that. That's coffee for us. Yes, coffee and stitches. Yes. And I'm trying to think. It's been 30 years since I was at the top of the arch. Because I took my daughter when she was 5. Panda said, I've seen it from a distance, never been that close to it. Panda, change that. Well, if you like heights, change it. If you don't, it's a building. And it gets narrow at the top. I don't remember the details because, again, it's been forever since I worked there. I remember 630. I know there are, I don't even ask me. I don't remember. It's way too much. Why is it asking me to log in? I think I'm still signed in and all that. Give me my chat and stop playing with me. It's asking me silly questions. Bear with me. I don't know if you can see me or not. Okay, you see me. I can't see the chat over there. That's fine. I cannot keep up with that. Thank you. Thank you guys. I think you still see me. Now black screen. Okay, am I back? I am really going to have to rely on this little monster right here. And I'm back. That's good enough for me. Ta-da. We will make me big over here. And I will pretend there is no chat over there. Fair? Fair? We good with that? Anyway, on to trivia. And again, this is why I don't like touching the iPad, because all I see is wiggle. Okay. Ooh, I like this question. The smell of freshly cut grass or the aroma of a bookstore, specifically an older bookstore. What's your rather? Do you prefer the smell of fresh cut grass or an old bookstore? I think you guys already know which one I prefer. So let me stitch and I shall wait. And I have to exit my chat. And Erica said, definitely fresh cut grass. Kim said, bookstore. And Nana Michelle said, yes, bookstore. The smell of fresh cut grass aggravates my allergies. Lady Elaine says, straight down the middle, give me both. Ooh, could you imagine an open air bookstore where the walls are like those French doors that can open, and the smell of your outside coming into your bookstore? All of the beauty of outside, inside a bookstore. See, if we can create art with our crochet, why can't we create art with our imagination in the form of buildings we dream up? I'm telling you, life could be beautiful. And Panda said they are both good smells. And Lady Elaine said fresh cut grass outside as you enter. See, Lady Elaine is right here with me on that one. Good morning, Sugar Diamond. And I am so glad you made it. Glad to have you here. So I have an allergy to fresh cut grass, and I will struggle through, take my Zyrtec and keep it pushing because I like the smell of it. I don't like the way I feel because I smelled it. So, yes, the bookstore grass allergy is real for many of us, at least me. And for me, that's enough. I'm trying not to be dealing with any more than I have to. I deal with enough. But that is, yes, again, it's one of those things I'm willing to suffer a little bit in order to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy. And Persephone said, definitely bookstore over grass. And I think it is the opportunity to read a vintage book or enjoy a story that not many people know. It's like having a secret with somebody from the past who wrote a book a long, long time ago. That just, it gives me all the feels. So, next area of questions, creative mind and hobby life. How do you organize your creative supplies? By color, by project, or just whatever fits wherever it fits? How do you organize? And yes, chaos is its own form of organization if that works for you. Because if you saw my desk, you'd be like, Lady, how? And the answer is, it works for me. That's why I could pick up a skein, or in my case, a cake of acrylic yarn, and then just inches away, pick up a cake of cotton or grab a finished product all in the same space. And yes, I have my lip gloss. What I'm looking for, because again, young adults, somebody snatched my other lotion, little monsters. But I'm not mad. At least they're using lotion. So let's see. Got okay. Absolutely. Understand. Thank you, Persephone. I love you. Have a beautiful Saturday. By yarn weight, says Erica. Repeat, please. Kitty, the question on the table is, how do you organize your creative supplies? By color, by project, or by however it may fit? And Nisi is like me. Mine is a mixture between chaos by brand name, LOL. I love it. I love it. I am trying to organize my yarn that has assignment by bin or by space. So I have a bunch a bunch of Lion Brand Pound of Love yarn. If you can't tell, I don't like it. But I have a lot of it because, yeah, I do. And it's all in one bin because I use it for one thing. And that's it. That's all. And that's the end of it. I endure it when I have to. And I don't make those projects very, very often, but I have it. And Kitty says, oh, wait a minute. Lady Elaine said, control chaos. See, it is an organizational method. Kitty says, size then color. Nana Michelle says, by brand and size. See, Nana Michelle brings up one of those control factors that is truly a Michelle issue as well, which is I will not mix brands of yarn. Now, I know some of you are team scrap it up, give you a scrap of this and a scrap of that. And I love that for you. I think that's amazing. Don't do that to me. We will fight. If I am working with Red Heart, I am working with Red Heart. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm opening up my mug, grabbing up my backup coffee because we have the backup. It is time. We must add. And yes, this is my protein-based coffee. So no, it's not just coffee. And one second, I'm holding on to my phone so I don't drop it. Okay. Kim said, fiber content, then weight, then brand, then color. Ooh, she's got control on control on control. I love it. I love it. I. I'm not that thorough, but I am adamant that I can't mix brands. And my reasoning is for the same reason many of you guys know. It can say it's a 4-weight, but a Karen 1 pound 4-weight feels real different than a Pound of Love by Lion Brand. Both are 1 pound products, but the density of that yarn is night and day. And if I wanted for warmth and comfort and durability, Karen 1 pound, number one. If I want frustration, chaos, and to fight, go ahead. Bring me a Pound of Love. And we're gonna have a pound of fighting because that's what's gonna happen. I gotta cake it before I make it. Because the moment that I run into chaos with that daggone, whatever they call that menagerie of their skein, the nerves are jumping in my face just thinking about it. But this is also true of the big twist. It's the way those pound pluses, and mind you, we have it close by because if you've not watched me more than 5 minutes, I love this yarn, but I gotta cake it before I can make it. So let's see. I got lost. Cherry said, by weight and solids together and then variegators together. I'm the only one who knows where everything is. See? Same. Yarn is dedicated to a current or future project is separated by project. Exactly. Panda said, LOL, I'm not that kind of girl either. Panda, messy. Nana Michelle said, most of my yarn is self-striping or variegated since I'm lazy and don't want to control colors most of the time. Repeats, I'm a control monster. And then Erica's laughing at Panda. Kim said, that is why I can't mix brands, right? Size. Lady Elaine added, all 4 weights are not created equal. They are not. Nana Michelle said, I like Pounder Love for the yardage, but I'm with you. Gotta cake it or take it from the outside since it's a hot mess. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have like stands or spindles that I can put an entire pound of yarn on, but honestly, it doesn't flow or move the way I want it to. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out. You guys would call it a stand wood. I have the knockoff brand. I have the Olacraft stand. For well, it's not a stand. It's a yarn winder, but I love it. And yeah, it's not as expensive. And that sucker is a monster. Love it. But I also have my Knit Picks mini cake maker, and I keep it here in my bedroom space because if I need to, quickly put something together, but I know I got to cut it, and I'm not trying to work that hard. I'm just being honest. On to the next question. Do you prefer working on intricate small details or finishing big chunks of a project quickly? What's your preference? Do you prefer little detailed intricacy, or do you like that big picture, everything all in a go kind of project? What do you want? What do you like? Sugar Diamond said, my yarn is in a bag and put to the side. Sugar, be good. Kim said, and I love that for you, Sugar. Right? I love it for you. But let us not forget, this is a crochet channel. And I am glad that she supports, though she very rarely will crochet. And when she does, just for the record, for those of you who have never had the pleasure, she's amazing. So what's your preference? Do you like the give me all one go big picture projects, or do you like tiny little delicate pieces? Nisi said neither. I like to take everything in steps, right? Again. And see, Nisi, I think this is part of that control factor. I like a bit of both. I want the big picture, give it all to me in one get. But I want details within, which is why I like picots and popcorns and baubles and all of that. Give me a mix. Give me the kitchen sink. Make It Do Form said, as Deborah. Thank you, Deborah. As long as I'm not changing colors small, if I have to change colors, large. Yes. Sherry said, large projects with small, intricate stitches. Sometimes. And Sugar said, intricate. Okay. Exactly. Kim has seen it too. When she does, it's exceptional workmanship. Nana Michelle said, well, since I taught myself to crochet doilies with thread before YouTube days. A step at a time, intricate steps. I love it. Kitty is like, give me the big project. And Nana added, but I am happy when big things are done too. See, I've said this more times than I would care to remind you, but it is still true. I'm a blanket girly. I'm a blanket girly. However, I am in my wearables era and not regretting it. So, okay, this is a great question because I am who I am. And yes, I had a market. What specific color do you find yourself drawn most to most often when you're buying any kind of supplies? And it doesn't just have to be yarn. It could be linens for your bedroom or your bathroom. Maybe it's accessories for your patio or your living room. Wherever you find yourself having to purchase things that are going to include color. What color do you find yourself most often drawn to? And then I'm going to add a bonus question to that question. So, say. Sugar is extraordinary crocheter when she feels like doing it. Very true. And Deborah said blue. Ooh, what kind of blue though? I want to know. Give me a little extra there. OMG, same. That is so funny. I'm in my wearable sweater era, but blankets are my favorite, right? Erica said bright colors, blue, purple, pink. I love it. Kim said beachy colors, blues and tans. I like that. I like that. So I'm going to ask my follow-up question because you know your girl will forget. Let's be realistic. I will forget. What color do you think I'm most drawn to? If I'm sourcing for anything in general, what color do you think I'm most drawn to? Well, Sugar said red. Red. Now, is that your answer for what you think I'm drawn to, or is that just for you? Because I know when one thinks sugar diamond, they think red. Okay. The colors are dependent upon my mood, right? Kim said pink. Make It Do said burgundy. Erica said red for you. And Cherry said, I like all the colors, but not yellow if for a wearable. And Cherry said pink, obviously. I'm sorry, guys. I sometimes you all can say things that will just break me to pieces. Lady Elaine said, blush and bashful for you, Michelle. And Deborah said that I am drawn to burgundy, meaning me. Okay. In yarns, and I just recently did this. This is why I know the answer to this. I seem to be drawn to neutrals, creams, beiges, taupes, that space. I do love burgundy because it looks good on me. But here's the wild part. I don't own a lot of burgundy yarn. For my home decor, again, neutrals and grays, a lot of gray. Like my living room furniture is pretty much gray. I like natural colors and I like natural things. So in my dining space, my colors are cherry wood and black. Those are the things I'm drawn to there. In my kitchen, I'm in my flip era. And by flip, I mean I'm flipping my color scheme. When I first started in my kitchen, it was all cobalt blues. Everything was cobalt blue. Then maybe 15 years later, I realized I'm moving into the reds. And now, honestly, does it work? Will it last? And if it works and it will last, I'm not so focused on the color. I, the aesthetic of it all doesn't matter as much to me now. It used to. And I'm about to have to buy a new set of dishes because I live with people who break dishes. So I need to buy a new set of dishes in a little bit. And when I do, I guess I'll hit upon a color that means something to me then. But for now, no. I'm kind of functional. But pink is my favorite color, but it's the one color I have the very least of anything of. Not in my wardrobe. I don't wear a lot of pink. I think I own 2, maybe 3 things in pink. I had a beautiful dress that I loved. It had all the bells and whistles. It's 4 sizes too big now, so I can't wear it. And I gave it away to somebody that could wear it, and she loves it. And she looks so much better in it than I ever did. But she's got the gams for it. Mind you, I have reasonably decent legs, but I'm short. She's taller. It looks good on her. And Sugar said, that's because you want to compliment your pink and burgundy. You're probably right. I would have to agree with that. My kitchen has Fiesta wear. I love Fiesta wear. However, none of it's matchy, so it's multicolored. Oh my gracious. And ironically, now see, here's where I'm I don't like the word cheap. I'm frugal. One of my former neighbors would go to the different resale places and auctions and things like that, and stumbled upon a KitchenAid stand mixer from like the 1960s or maybe early 70s in avocado green. Not the most beautiful thing, but the person who was selling it said that they bought it as a wedding gift when they first got married, only to realize they were never going to learn how to cook. So it almost never got used. If a relative or friend came over, it got used then. But that was it. So they sold it to me for $25. A KitchenAid stand mixer for $25 that is still in my kitchen and still kicking it up. I have gone through cakes and cakes and cakes and pastries and all the things, not just for the daycare, not just for my once cake decorating business, all of the things. I live and die by that stand mixer. But she's still running, and she will be with me no matter what color I move into for the kitchen. So there's that. And yes, we always would go to the Fiesta Wear in Colorado, Fiesta Wear Company in West Virginia, and buy the seconds because I'm not paying full price for that either. Right? Right. Score. Yes, Lady Elaine, score. I have a table in my living room that I use for a coffee bar because I might have a little addiction to coffee. Like I have 2 coffee makers that stay busy. And yes, I blend a lot of my coffee, but my coffee makers are my single serve Ninja coffee pod coffee maker. And then I have a Hamilton Beach combo that will do the pods. You can add the ground coffee in the top and make a one serving set, or you can do a whole pot of coffee on the side of it because coffee, it's a real thing for me. So I'm laughing at that. And Nana Michelle said the tent sales were the best. I've never been. Hmm. I am lucky enough I can source through one of my local stores. I can source Fiesta wear. And then there are groups on Facebook where people are getting rid of it for whatever reason. That's a great place to look as well. So I'm being laughed at. I think that's funny too. Nonetheless, I forgot what I was saying. I don't know. What was I saying? I got like lost in the sauce. Bless. Oh, coffee. So the table. This table came from an auction of all places, a hospital that was closing. And my neighbor had gone to the hospital as they were selling things that they wanted to get rid of. Um, in fact, the stand that I use for all of my pots and pans and things is from that same hospital. So this is what I mean by I was so lucky to have this person for a neighbor, though a bit annoying at times, was the best source for anything. And Cherry said, I have a Ninja single serve coffee maker and I love it. I like it. I don't love it. But it's convenient to keep people from harassing me for my very bougie, very curated coffee flavors that I don't share. And yes, I buy whole bean and I ground it up with the hand crank coffee grinder because I like it like that. I hear movement. Anyway, onward and upward. The hard water ruined many coffee makers, so I have moved to French press or percolator. Percolator. I have a percolator. Now my percolator is in the kitchen. Love my percolated coffee. I remember when I left to go to college, I had a Regal percolator, and man, I love that thing. And yes, hard water can be difficult and challenging, but okay. In the Ninja, I don't care what water goes in it because I don't drink that very often. In my Hamilton Beach, I will do either boiled water or bottled water. More often than not, it's going to be a bottled water just because not so much the hard water factor, but convenience. I buy those, big, large things and pour in the amount I need. And yes, I know I'm going to be doing that over and over again, and I don't care. I'm worth it. But that's how I get around that because hard water is a very serious thing. Um, and if you're worried about what it's doing to your coffee maker, imagine what it's doing to your body. So that's a factor that I always take into consideration as well. When I'm taking my showers or whatever, I have a whole routine. It's a whole thing. And no, we're not going into it. Don't ask. So Erica said, my son got me a Ninja Lux. Ooh, I didn't think I wanted it, but it's great. I have not had a bad Ninja product. Whether it's my Ninja blender, which I think was the first Ninja product I ever purchased, then my original Ninja coffee maker, and my Ninja air fryer. And I have one of the what do you call it? I can see it. Kettle. I have an electric kettle. Yeah, gadgets. Your girl likes kitchen gadgets. Can you tell? So there's that. Ooh, good question. Who is the first person in your life to show you that making things by hand was cool? Who was that person? And Nana Michelle said, I use a Ninja blender that I got from my uh job like 10 plus years ago. Love it, right? I don't think mine is 10 years old just yet, but it might be. I'm not going to think about it because that'll make me feel old again. I was feeling very old this morning. I'm still feeling very old, mostly because when I woke up this morning, everything cracked and popped. So, who was the first person that really gave you the feeling that handmade products were cool? Erica said, my great grandma. Oh, I love it. And Cherry said, definitely my mom or her mother. Yes. I'm trying to think. I grew up with a mother who sewed on a sewing machine. Now, she crocheted not well. And only one thing. And again, not well. But her godmother, my grandma Jones, was one of the first people. And mind you, she didn't crochet or knit, but she sewed with a sewing machine. And oh my goodness, the details that she added with her hand, crochet and embroidery made everything so much more beautiful. I think it would be her. Sugar said, my mom. Lady Elaine said, Grandmere. Okay. Kitty said, my babysitter, the lady who taught me to crochet. Now, the lady who taught me, well, I can't say she taught me. I taught myself to crochet because bed rest is a real thing. But who taught me that making a blob is not good enough. If you're going to use the yarn, do it right, would be my aunt's mother. She's not with us anymore, and I miss her, and I was just thinking of her the other day. But Gigi didn't play. Gigi would let me go on 20, 30, 40 rows deep in a project. Catch a mistake in row 2. Would note it. Say nothing to me. Let me go on. And then go right there. Mm-mm. And she start pulling it out. And I'm watching my time go. And she's like, if you're going to spend the time doing it, do it right. And I won't frog it. But if you're going to make a mess, make the mess at your place. Don't bring it over here. Lessons were learned, and I got good at it. I would ask her questions. Why do your stitches do this versus that? Oh, well, baby, when you hold the hook this way, this is the result you're going to get. When you hold the hook that way, this is the result you're going to get. If you wrap the yarn around the hook this many times, this is what's going to happen. Now, mind you, I had no name for any stitch or any style or any of that. All I knew was what she was showing me as far as making things taller or shorter, or how if I didn't finish this stitch and connected it to that stitch, it made this look. I didn't learn until later that those things had names. They just created different looks. And that so many wraps pulled through all at once made this little ball. So, that's the difference between this medium, the YouTube tutorial experience, and this other medium that I dearly love, which are my books. I learned all of that after she taught me some of the basics to create things like this pattern. But my point is, I learned to love it first. Then I learned all the lessons behind it, which gave me this completely different dynamic with crochet that I don't honestly have with knitting. And I have to be clear, I knitted first, and I knitted for 10 years and loved it. You couldn't catch me without a set of knitting needles in my bag or in my purse. or heck, depending on what I was wearing, in my waistband, because I was going to have the knitting with me always. And then I got busy. And once I discovered crochet and how fast and how detailed and intricate and exciting it could be for me, knitting was a nah, I'm good on that. I tried very recently, like in the beginning of the year, to go back to knitting. And then I remembered why I stopped. Because slow. I'm already a slow crow girly. But you add on the element of being slow with knitting, mm-mm. I'm a microwave mindset when it comes to getting my projects done because I have so many things I want to do. Okay. And Lady Elaine, take your time. Take your time. So those kind of things were the reason that crochet became a priority for me. And it also elevated my relationship with my Gigi. So she was she was my girl. She was my girl. And I miss her. So woo-hoo. What is the most unique or creative gift someone has ever received from you? Not that you've been given. What is the most unique or creative gift someone has received from you? Now, and it doesn't have to be yarn or crochet based. I think the most unique gift I've ever given was probably a wedding cake for a couple, but I wasn't gifting them the cake. That wasn't the issue. I mean, me making a cake was like me breathing. I had their daughter come and spend the night with me, and together we made that cake. I had, she had mentioned I might be interested in learning how to bake. Little did I know, just from that night of making that cake with her, she would go on to be quite the baker. And she loves baking now. Um, Although not recently, I'm grateful to say, because she has found her own flavor palettes and ideas and recipes and things like that. But she loved calling, I need a pumpkin cake recipe, or I want to create this flavor. How do I do it? And sometimes it was adding this on top of that with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And she would get it together. Oh, she's an amazing baker now. So there's that. It is well past the top of the hour. If you have not already done so, grab your drink and have something to drink. Forgive me. I am being pelted with dust in the air. So it is making my face itch a little bit. Bear with me. And Kitty said, king size crochet blanket with all of the accomplishments. Whoa, I bet. See, I've not yet done a king size blanket. It's a bucket list item. Lady Elaine says she's back. Thank you, thank you. But oh mercy. Yeah. That for me was something that means everything to me. Being able to pass on such an important passion for me. Because the way I grew up, food was an extension of the testimony of love. I didn't come from resources and money, but we would absolutely, and forgive me, my music is paused because somebody just opened the door. So my system just went kink. Bear with me, I'm adjusting our music. There we go. Anyway, having in our family, like your birthday, always meant you got a special meal. You could pick whatever you wanted to eat. And this is probably me being me. My brothers would pick these very expensive and ornate meals. I knew our family did not have resources financially to afford, these exorbitantly extravagant meals. So for me, assigning the cooking task for certain things that I loved, everyday meals, was the thing that I wanted. Like I wanted fried chicken, but I wanted my dad to do all of the flavors and seasoning and spices into what the chicken was battered in. Yes, yes to the coffee. Yes, yes. Food was love in our house, which is why I'm fluffy. I'm fluffy because I'm fluffy. I'm designed to be substantial. And yes, because food was good. But I would have my dad do all the spices. My mother was the one who would fry the chicken, and my dad would make homemade french fries. But my mother was the one that I wanted to make the salad, because she wouldn't put things in a salad that I wouldn't like. And my dad would always know right before my mother, when she's cutting up tomatoes, to pull out some that was just for me. Because as a kid, I did not like fresh tomatoes, not in my salad. And I could have 3 different salad dressings. So as a little kid, my brother and I would always get Thousand Isle dressing. I didn't like it. It was weird. It was like sweet and weird. So I didn't like that. I did like Green Goddess salad dressing. Still like that. And I loved Italian dressing. So those were my salad dressings of choice. And then, of course, my parents had whatever they like. Like to this day, I do not like the taste of blue cheese, but they like blue cheese dressing. So there you go. We would have these different things, and then of course you could have whatever cake you wanted. This is where, mm, guilty. I always wanted the Miss Hullen's split lemon cake. But to be obtuse, I would ask for a half split lemon, half split chocolate, because I knew that as much as I loved the split lemon cake, if that was the only thing available, my brother would crush it. He would eat so much of it that I would get almost none. So I would ask for half and half. I knew he liked chocolate more than he liked lemon. So I would win simply based on that. And Cherry said, both of my parents were great cooks. Dad went to the Culinary Institute of America. How cool. Before he joined the military, he used to help run the officers club. Now, my grandfather was a chef in the military. And Lady Elaine said, I love blue cheese, anything. No, not I. Not I. And I just had this conversation with someone recently. I'm fortunate enough that throughout my childhood I was a Girl Scout. So I would get to go to summer camps, and away camp is what they called it. And I'm laughing because I remember the name of the camp that I typically went to was called Camp Tuckahoe. Do not break that down and say it slow, because I did and couldn't stop giggling for a week. Anyway, Camp Tuckahoe was my first sleepaway camp. Woman Cherry said, my parents used to have a restaurant and my mom baked all. Ooh, Cherry, I bet you have recipe books that would rival many of the things that are being sold on the shelf right now. But nonetheless, I go to camp, and one of the things was, in order for you to participate in this camp, mind you, all the food was there, but because campers arrived at different times, we were told to bring a sack dinner so that you would have something to enjoy that evening. And then, of course, we would prepare all meals on site starting the next morning. We would arrive on Sunday evening, and then you'd leave on Saturday afternoon to arrive home Saturday night. And my dad would make tuna fish, and never enough just for me, never just enough for me. My father would take those ginormous, to me as a kid, ginormous mason jar and fill this full of tuna fish, send 2 sleeves of Ritz crackers, and he would freeze cubes of cheese and then freeze different things to go with that would stay in the bag. And he put those things in a gallon size Ziploc bag, except for the tuna fish that was next to the gallon size. The outside bag was things that were frozen that I was never going to eat, but it was to keep everything on the inside of the bag cold. And it kept my tuna fish cold. So I arrived my first time at sleepaway camp, and the other people who were there, they have their things. But for those of you who ever took your lunch, you probably know about the whole trade thing. You might have this pastry and somebody else might have a fruit pie, so you would trade with them. So many people smelled this tuna fish that I had and was like, oh, that smells kind of good. And it's not your basic PBJ, and it's not your bologna sandwich or whatever you may have brought with. So you wanted to try it. The next year, because I stayed in contact with a number of the people we camped with, they were asking, well, what camp are you going to go to this summer? And I was like, I'm going to go to this one. And they're like, oh, I'm going to that one too. I'll see you there. And are you bringing the tuna fish? So I got to share that tuna fish the next year. My father passed suddenly, so to speak, suddenly. I mean, he passed. And when he did, that was one of the things. And mind you, I've been living on my own for a long time. I literally had my dad stand there, tell me how much of this, how much of that, how much of that, how much of this. I could never make that man's tuna fish. To this day, I cannot make it. But now I make my own version of tuna fish, and my daughter has said time and time again, Mom, I cannot make your tuna fish. I know I've watched you do it and I cannot do it. And that's the thing. Things like tuna fish salad or potato salad or macaroni salad or whatever it is you make that is your signature you can write the recipe. Nobody can add that level of you to that recipe. And I think for those of us who crochet a lot, that's the element and the secret that isn't often spoken about. I can teach you how to make a double crochet. I cannot teach you how to add that level of love to the products that I create. You can be performative, but you can never be YesMichelle. I can be engaging and exciting and all the things, and yet never be insert whatever content creator and don't add it to my chat. I can be whoever I want to be within me, channel my inner whoever, whatever, but I'm not that person. I'm me. And I'm okay with that. I love that about me. And I think that's the level of engagement that I hope comes across in the live streams. And Cherry said, Mom's chocolate peanut butter pie is my kid's favorite. I love it. That sounds good. That sounds good. Lady Elena sharing her love with me. But that, I mean, that's just an honest truth that isn't often spoken. And I say this to someone who may be watching as a team replay, by the way. Hey, team replay, glad you're here. Thank you. I love you. Don't forget to hit likes. Folks, if you haven't already hit like, please do. Especially those of you who are in the back of the room, just enjoying the ambiance and doing whatever it is you may be doing. By the way, we are at the half-hour point. If you have not done so recently, please grab your cup and take a sip, or two or three or four. But for those who may at some point, whether in this niche or not, decide that they want to be content creators, there will be people when you're new, because it has happened to me and I have been told by others it has happened to them, who will tell you, you have to do this, you need to do that, you're not going to XYZ, insert the instructions later, don't, that you're not going to be a success if you don't do these things or say these things or behave this way or do that. The beauty of this medium is you get to be you, just you, not you with an air of, not you with a touch of, just you. The more authentic you are, the more the audience is drawn to you. I promise you, those moments when I was trying on the elements of others, my engagement with my audience was inconsistent. At one point, I honestly felt like I was a exact carbon copy of the same thing I had done the day before. So much so that I know for a fact, some of you could watch my video and almost verbatim parrot what I was going to say. When I stopped that part and I started just saying what I needed to say from me, from my heart, from this inner monster, then my engagement skyrocketed. My growth skyrocketed for me. Now, mind you, somebody else would say, I can add 1,000 subscribers in a day. That's not my testimony. Do you have the same level of relationship with your people that I do? Probably not. And maybe you do. And if you do, blessings to you for that too. However, I know that for me, I'm exactly where I want to be, relationship wise, growth wise, journey wise. I don't worry about the people who are disturbed. And yes, I've gotten the emails because I choose to do a mindful reset in many of my videos. I just said I don't like blue cheese. It doesn't make me a bad person, and it doesn't make blue cheese bad. It's just not for me. I'm not for everyone. There are a few things that are true about me that will be unique to just me. Some people are going to resonate with that. Some people are going to want to imitate that. I will tell you, imitating me does not make you me. It just makes you less of you. And that's not necessarily what people tune in for, because the truth of it is they can flip over to YesMichelle Crochets, and I have a catalog of videos that they can watch and playlists that they can watch. So be you. If you're going to be a content creator, be you. Just you. In whatever way that feels normal, natural, or real for you. Because the audience can tell when you're being fake. That I promise you. So I said what I said, and that's all I said. See, I love that, Cherry. You know, I get that. I get that. And Hello, Denise. Welcome. Never in his lifetime. Never say never. And I say that not to make anyone feel like they need to have a channel. Not everybody needs to have a channel. What I have learned, a mistake I made when I was new, green, and overly enthusiastic about this medium. I thought everybody who had a voice, who wanted to press the play button should. First of all, here's what I know this almost 2 years later. One, at least the way I do YouTube is expensive. Put the hook down. What I like to do, the elements I like to add to the videos that I create, to the live streaming that I do, it's an expense. Believe me, I've had conversations with the person who helps me with my taxes and my business expenses, and he said, so how much longer are we going to be doing this YouTube thing? Because you're pouring money into this and you're not recouping it. And my reply was, as long as I want to, because I'm grown. And two, this is what I was looking for when I turned on YouTube. So I'm willing to create this, if for nobody, for me. I wanted a space where I could connect and communicate in a safe format, have my music, the music I want to hear, that I enjoy. I wanted to learn how to add transitions to a video. I wanted these things. And I figured if I wanted it, maybe somebody else did too. I am, last time I looked, 1,352 subscribers in. And that changes day to day. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes not. I don't care. You matter to me. And I'm glad for the relationship we have. You, not her or him or them or whomever. You matter. Come to the front of the room. You. I love you. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're subscribed. And just for the record, because sometimes, yes, Michelle's going to say things that are going to disturb the peace of some. Maybe your peace needs to be disturbed, by the way. Some people communicate with me as though when they say the things that they say, and I'm not talking to those of you who are here right now, because to my understanding, none of you have done this. I have had occasionally people who've reached out to me. If you don't do that, I'm going to unsubscribe. For the record, ladies and gentlemen, there's this magical thing called YouTube Studio. And if you go into YouTube Studio, I can click your name and see whether you're subscribed or not. I can see how often you've commented or not. So if you use the same email that you use to engage in YouTube and tell me if I don't ... you're going to unsubscribe, do us both a favor. Subscribe first. Some will say, I've supported you since the beginning and still have never subscribed. And maybe they think they're subscribed and they're not. And some people I've offended and they've run away. And quite honestly, bye-bye. But that's a factor that many people in this space experience, trying to please those who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. I'm an Aries. My spirit animal is a rhino. I could give two on whether or not I vex the soul of those who wouldn't bother to come across the street to help me stand up if I fail. That's a reality. I'm sorry, I'm missing comments because I needed to get that out and say what I said. I'm so sorry, guys. Forgive me. Um, I don't know how to be anyone else. Trust me, I've tried in the past. Okay, LOL. Absolutely true, sugar. I missed something. Okay. Well, I think some should never push the button. I agree. But if but you definitely should have because oh, thank you. I subscribed. Thank you, Gecko girl. Thank you. For the sake of positive debate, maybe those others are getting what they wanted. If it's this, just a thought. Well, if you can't be you, then maybe being a content creator is not for you. That's very, very true. Can you say Juliana? Hi, Juliana. Disagree, Michelle. I know for a fact it's definitely not for me. This is probably true. This is probably true. If I were ever to have started a channel, it would only last a few hours. Uh, Gecko, have a good day. So onward and forward. That is one of the things that at almost 2 years I have learned. I don't choose to be any different than I am. I'm giving you what I want to give you. I hope it's what you want to receive. I give you love. I give you rules. You will adhere to them, or you will find yourself watching with no access because I will quietly silence you. And yeah, Lady Elaine will definitely make the door close in your face. So, and she will give you more space and time than I will. I won't. I won't. I have no tolerance for me having rules and you not following them. That just is what it is. Um, Lady Elaine, somebody is having trouble finding the door. Thank you. So, give me a second. I want to get to the corner, and then we will have another question. Because yes, trivia is fun for us. Speaking of, I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday because we have just under 20 minutes and then your girl has to go because all the things. But let me circle back to the question that I opened up when we first got started. And that question was, since I know I have a lot on my plate for hook activity this weekend, I'm thinking about going live tonight. Does that sound like something you guys would want to participate in? Because I know a fair amount of you have arrived after I asked that question, so I didn't have the chance to ask you. So I'm asking, if I were to go live tonight, would you guys want to participate in something like that? Or should I leave the camera off and just hook away? You let me know what works best for you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Forgive me. I started my next row. I had to. You know me. Let me grab my pen and let's get our question. Ooh, now this is my cozy question. Do you prefer a roaring fireplace or a massive mountain of heavy blankets? Oh, Erica, I'm sorry. Well, Erica, if we do decide to go live tonight, I do hope you will hang around for the replay and catch that as well. Oh, Cherry, thank you. As long as I can crochet, I'm here. Yes. I would be there. I have to crochet a 40 by 40 blanket today, right? Once I get home from work, we'll be chained to my chair, right? Yes. Oh, excellent. I would definitely try to be there. My body has no sleep schedule anymore. Okay. Then it's a date. Let's see. How about 7 o'clock Central Time? So 6 Eastern. You guys do the math for the West Coast. Forgive me. The brain is this strong, and she is not happening. Deborah. Yes, yes, on the 40 by 40. And Deborah said, fireplace. It's hard to crochet when you're wrapped in blankets. Oh, Deborah, I got to tell you this. Neither. Hot Flash City. Not ready for that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Team Hot Flash here too. Definitely will catch the replay. Yes, thank you. So, okay, this was my Christmas gift this year. That depends. A cozy fireplace. Am I frogging and remaking the blankets? Okay. Good question. My daughter gave me an electric blanket with sleeves that has foot pockets. I love this blanket. And if you want, I will even, if you guys do me a favor, after this is no longer alive, come back to this, leave the comment that you want the link for that blanket, and I will put it in the comments as a pinned comment on the replay side of this. But when I tell you, I live for this blanket. I am the kind of person that I'm 1 foot out. I want to be wrapped up in cozy bundled, but I got to have a foot out because I need some air. The toes got to wiggle. But this foot pocket is a game changer for me. Love it. And sleeves allows me to crochet while bundled in my blanket and super cozy. And if I want to be extra, extra warm, because for a lot of reasons that we're not going to chat about, I get cold easy, but I have hot flashes. I literally think that my check engine light has split into two different personalities. Team, I'm freezing, and team, girl, it's too hot to look at me. So there's that. And this blanket is the perfect marriage of those two issues in the same space. Oh, okay. Cherry said that's 8 Eastern. Thank you. See, somebody's doing the math for me. I guess it depends on where you are in the West. That's true too. Hotter than a streetwalker in a Kim, I am so glad you're back. I'm so glad you're back. All I need is the torso covered. Fair, fair, fair. Kim, I'm just gonna sit here and relax. Cause y'all know how to, you know how to break me up. You guys know, some of you seem to know when I'm getting in my head and I need to be brought back out. And thank you for doing so. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So we will have a live stream tonight, which means that this girl, needs to run an errand or two in the early afternoon and maybe take a nap. Probably prepare dinner. Okay, no, order dinner. I'm not preparing a doggone thing. Correction, I'm gonna say with my head, son, I'm not preparing a damn thing. I'm not. I'm ordering. DoorDash is my friend, and I will gladly pay. So there's that. See, Sherry's the same as me. I've never heard that one, but this community will keep us in stitches and laughing. No. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Oh, now this is a great question too. Are you team practical maker or team decorative maker? Which are you? Which do you prefer? Are you, I make things that have a purpose and a function, or I make things just because they're pretty? And if you're in the middle, say that part too. I gotta know. And okay, I just asked that question and I lost the question. There it is. Bloop. Okay. Kitty said, hold up. Are y'all committed to the patch? Moving on. And Deborah said, practical maker. Team practical. Right. I make things because they're pretty. I make practical things pretty. Team practical. Both depends on my mood. Right. Function over fluff. Hmm. For the most part. For the most part. I think, at least for me, color is its own decoration. So I love color work. I love blending and bending in the color sphere while being absolutely practical, which is why my go-to is make a blanket, girl. Make a blanket, make a dishcloth or a washcloth, make a functional piece. I'm very pragmatic and practical. And mostly because honestly, it's easier. I'm not an amigurumi person. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Mostly because I no, just no. I'm not gonna do it. Kitty said, and I love it more when it's multi-purposed. Exactly. Exactly. And I have I've in fact I've made it a couple of times. I have made blankets that had sleeves, though they didn't have foot pockets where it just fell over me. Literally, they wrapped around me. That's how big. But I liked those projects because they were easy, semi mindless, and fun. And unfortunately, and I've done this twice, I don't have either one of them because either someone I dearly love or someone that I dearly knew would do better with that product than I possesses those items. So, yes, practical can be beautiful. Very true. I love designing. That's why I'm always designing with Cherry Bomb. Well, absolutely, and have fun with that part. I make whatever makes me happy. I make chaos and mayhem. Yes, sugar, and I make yes, you too. You do indeed make a great team. So, on that regard, we are mostly team practical. Ooh. Now, here's a question that, as much as I want to know, you may need to know this about you. Do you get, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to skip that question. What time of the day do you find your mind wandering to its most creative places? Now, here's the flip. That same time is the time that I need to most wind down. I most need to rest. I become the most creative and inventive and enthusiastic when I should be getting ready to go to bed. That is my guilt. Yes, Kitty, you're correct. You are indeed a designer, and it is based on the function and demographic. Kim said 3 a.m. Kitty said overnight. Yes. Now, see, I have to say I understand why that happens to me that way, because forever ever I was a night owl, and now I am absolutely not a night owl. And the quickest way to get your feelings hurt is to call me after 6 p.m. Central. The quickest way to find out how diversified my profanity can be is to disturb my peace and bring me some shenanigans. Don't call me with the soap opera gossips at 9 p.m. because, first of all, you wasted that phone call. Second of all, you limited your access to future engagement in communication with me because I don't care. Point blank, period. And I said what I said. I will hurt your feelings in a not so nice, nasty way, just plain out nasty. I guard my sleep like people guard their money, or should guard their money, at least in my opinion. But that mostly has to do with the fact that I don't sleep well, because the creative mind will kick in. It can be, oh, I woke up, I need to go potty. And all of a sudden I'll think, man, I wonder what would happen if I blend blop with blop and make dot. Whether that's in the cooking realm, the crochet realm, or whatever. Okay, which one of you wizards has the wand that sped up time? Because I promise you, 5 seconds ago, I think I said we had 20 minutes. We have 4 minutes. So I am going to say this as we wrap up this part of today's live stream. Yes, at 7 p.m. Central. And I will put a post up and I'll try to create a new thumbnail. I may not. If I don't shoot the messenger. But at 7 p.m. tonight, we're going to go live again. I don't have a direct agenda for that other than to work on what I need to crochet. And I don't know how long we're going to be there. So bring your sips, your whips, bring a snack, bring tongs if you don't want to dirty your fingers and get your yarn dirty. Bring your sense of humor. Bring yourself. And if you want, bring a friend. We will do that. But then on Monday at 1:15, we're going to do a Whip Wonderland video as a premiere so we can get some more hooking time in. Yes, yes, and definitely. On Wednesday, we're going to have another episode of Cozy Encyclopedia where I am going to give us a tutorial on the double treble crochet. So if that is a stitch that has given you pause or made you say, not in this lifetime, come on in. I'm going to break it down for you in the nerdiest of ways. And then again, throughout the week, we are going to spend time together, usually in the community chat. So if you've made something that you want the community to see, drop it in that community post and let me see what you're making. Most of all, know this. I dearly love you. I'm so very grateful to have you a part of this space and in this place. And as always, we will have our Stitch Circle next Saturday. So Lady Elaine is dropping the correction of times if I've made an error in any way. So, oh, Michelle, I forgot to tell you, I did make 15. Yes! I understand, I know, and I love it. I love it. Double troubles are fun, right? I love a double trouble. I love a triple trouble, but that's just me and my business. I might have to hang out in the trees. Well, if you do, I will have you right there and make sure that I have a special seat just for you. But however you choose to show up, you are so welcome. Erica, thank you. Thank you so much. I am sending you love for your day. And I know I will catch you on Team Replay. But to those of you who are still here, let me let you in on little shenanigans. Just a smidge. We've talked about the butterfly design. It's been tested. There's tiny little tweaks that I need to make to the pattern. And not in a bad way, in a good way, so that it makes more sense. I'm told it's for the adventurous beginner. I've had an adventurous beginner test it, and they were able to do it with a little back and forth questioning to me, which told me this: Michelle, get off your doggone tuchus and make a tutorial. So before I release the written pattern, I need to sit down and make an actual tutorial for those butterflies. I haven't forgotten or abandoned that project, but it needs a tutorial because it literally is three-dimensional. So all the little nuances to make it look like we want it to look require a level of attention and intention that can't just be done in a written pattern. It needs to be done with a tutorial. In fact, ah, this isn't the final piece, but this gives you a general idea of what it looks like. It has all of these little nuances. And because it's four wings, as a butterfly typically has, but two sides of four wings so that it looks 3D-ish, it requires a tutorial. And if you know me even a little, me and tutorials, we still fresh. So I don't want to give you garbage. So bear with you, girl. I got to get the tutorial filmed, and it's not going to happen in the next 2 weeks. I have too much on my plate. Your girl lives by her planner, and there's a lot in front of me that needs to get done before I can make that tutorial. So we're still planning it. It is still a thing and going to happen, and I'm excited for it. But give me a little bit of grace as we work out clearing the deck so we can make space and place for those butterfly patterns. In the meantime, you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you had as much fun, at least as much fun as I did hanging out with you guys today. Like I said, I will see you later on tonight. And for now, and just for now, have some fun today. I will see you again very soon. Until then, take care. And bye-bye, guys.